Okay, awesome. So this is our first session. We're going to be going over through these sessions. We're going to teach you the game, okay? As you get older, you're going to find yourself that you're going to be learning like position, system. You should be going through a couple of systems of playing now. We're going to be joining this and merging this with our leadership, okay? This is the same process I do with my professional athletes and all my academy players. So my players, we're going to engage in this. All right, so from here, I want you to kind of engage. I'm going to call on you. We're going to go through really breaking the game down a little bit. And then we're going to go through where we're going to do a leadership. It's called the Power Words, the Power of One. And our Power Word Sacrifice, actually for January. Then we're actually going to look at some players that I want you guys to really kind of and do a player search, okay? And start identifying some players because you have to follow those players. After that, okay, we're actually going to really focus on, we're going to focus on actually, after our ball mastery and our homework, which is already up on Team Snap already, okay? And then after that, we do a 3-2-1 exit. So we already started the icebreaker. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. We're going to jump right into the thirds of the field. Now, my players, as you're going through this, and before you go through this, we're going to structure, and we have to structure two things. We want you to understand the principles of the BFLA coaches, okay, principles. And these are the principles that also I stand by when I'm coaching my professional team. So take a look at this because it's so crucial, right? As a coach, my coaches and young people, the coaches will make mistakes, okay? They're human. You have to understand that, right? If it's 16 players, 17 players, 20 players, remember it's one or two coaches. They may make mistakes of, let's say, putting you in and putting you in a different position. Don't stress it, right? It means is that they may have a reason for putting you in for the success of the team in that position. So don't be upset if you're a striker and they end up putting you in a different position. They may need your like tools, right? If you're fast and strong, they may want you to go into certain positions. The other thing my coaches will be learning as well is that, and the principles, 100%. The biggest role is that they give you 100% of what they're doing. They're going to give you everything for your success, okay? And the other thing is that they're going to stand by. They want you to understand is that your sacrifice for your success, it has to be greater than your want. You may want to be a doctor, same thing in the classroom, okay? But you're going to have to sacrifice to get there. You may want to be the best player in Bermuda, but you got to sacrifice to get there. You may want to play and be on the starting lineup of the team, but you're going to have to sacrifice to get there, and that's going to be the key, okay? Your sacrifice must be greater, okay, than your want. The other thing is that success, they're going to tell you success has no excuses and shows no pain. What does this mean, right? Excuses. I'm tired. No, you got to go through it. The same principles what delivering, we're looking for you guys to do the same thing, right? And some of you guys have been, well, most of you guys have been awesome. All you guys have been awesome because you've been working very hard. You're going to find as you get older, it's going to be more competitive and competition's going to come, right? And you're going to have to go through that pain. You're going to go through some frustration if you're goalkeeping and you feel, man, these balls keep going in. But, it's a pain. You're okay. You may lose some games, 20-0. It's okay. It's all about development, but that's the pain. You're going to go through some of this pain, and it's going to be frustrating for you. Also, is my players, is this what all our players and coaches understand, is changing the me to we. Understand, players, is that we want you to understand that we're in this together, okay? So that's going to be crucial. We are working as a family. All right, so there's some kind of tool. Cool.
Some people are trying to get in.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Let me let them in. Come on. I can't find my screen. Okay, here we are. Hold on, let me get these guys in. 3 in the waiting room. All right, here we go. All right. Kenzie, Leroy, and Ash. Let me let Dan make sure that's side on. Okay, good. So what we're going to do is that, you guys, we had the U9s. You're going to come up with three kind of principles. So players, we're going to build out principles. And these principles, so for instance, the U9s were saying, they said, you know what, one of the principles for the whole academy for the players, because this is like a contract, is that never settle for nothing than your best. Okay? And we're going to write that. I'm going to end up writing that and putting that in, the first area. Their second principle said, respect each other and coaches. Their third principle, it kind of a principle that the expectation of our coaches, they wanted our coaches, and one of the principles is to our coaches is to continue to learning, okay, so they can, so them as players can continue to develop. So my players, we got to come up with 3 more principles. So we're going to fill in, and I'm going to write it down, your principles from 4, 5, and 6. So anybody got any principles that they feel that we can actually put in, that we can live by, things that we want to put into this process, right? Anybody got any principles? Anything that you want to put a part of this? Anybody can think of anything? Come on, munchkins. Anybody got a principle? What's some principles? What about like working hard in training, working hard in games, always been a good so think about that, right? Think about some principles. Taya, you got a principle for me? Come on, Tay.
Never let your head drop.
Yes, that's awesome, right? Never let your hair drop. Or also, we can add to that, never let your hair drop. Never give up, right? Never give up, okay? Awesome. Anything else? We got 2 more to fill.
Be supportive.
Brilliant. Yes, be supportive. So important, right? Be supportive. And that's so important, right? Especially right now with everything that's going on, being supportive, right? And making that connection with your teammates. Anything else? We got 1 more. We got to fill that one on.
Annika?
You practice the way you play.
Practice the way you play. Now listen, so if you play and just going out there in slow motion, yeah, if that's how you play, guess what's going to happen? Is that in training, your coach is going to continue to be on you. So what we're saying is that your habits that you're building in training, you have to take over to the game. So if you work hard, okay, in the games, you have to work hard in training. You have to put that same work in training, right? So practice as hard as you play. Good.
That's a good
awesome.
3.
That's 3. Brilliant. Okay, so good. So let's move on. So guys, so I'm going to add that, okay, and when the U17s get in, then I'll work with them as well, and they'll go through that process. All right? Brilliant. So today we're going to focus on understanding the game. Make sure you got your paper, okay, and we're going to go over the thirds of the field. You're going to watch the video, follow along with it, okay, and I'm going to stop it a few times just to make sure we're getting it, okay? So we're going to go straight to the thirds of the field, okay, and that's our focus, the 3/3 of the field, okay? Here we go. Okay, let me end. Hello, my players. Hope all you is doing well. Now listen, this is going to be one of many classroom sessions we're going to be doing with you, okay? The session today, I want you to get a piece of paper, get a pen, get a marker, okay? Get a nice piece of paper because it's very important, and you can put this in your binder, okay? This is your first session today, first classroom session. So when you get your piece of paper, I'll give you some time. I want you to write thirds of the field, okay? So write on the thirds of the field. So all you got to write up top, thirds of the field. That's our topic today. Very simple, not going to be long, okay? So I'll give you some time. Get your paper. Now, once you get it, I want you to draw a field. That's right, draw a field. So let me draw my field here, across. I'm going to come down. I'm not a good drawer, okay? Going to come across. Awesome. Put my little goal in here and my little goal. All right? Simple as that, okay? Draw your field. Now, I don't think you can see the bottom of my field, but it is there, okay? So what we're going to do is now when you draw your field, okay, I want you to put lines in, okay? Now, let's put our field lines in. So we're going to take our same in the middle. This is the center of the field, okay? The center. All right? Now, this is where we got 2 halves. We're going to design this field if our team is going this direction, okay? This means is that we are defending this side and attacking this side, okay? What does the thirds mean? What are the thirds of the field? Before we get into anything more of this tactical, I want you to understand the thirds of the field. And also what I'm going to do is adding there today is breaking down so we can concentrate on balance, all right? So we add that because that's going to be our next session talking about balance, all right? So the thirds of the field. So let's break the field down into thirds, okay? So if I'm looking at, if this is now my first third, so let's divide this field up into thirds. Okay, I'm a little off, all right? So we've got one third, another third, and then our bottom third. It's important that you understand this. This is the first basis of breaking up a field so you can understand what the thirds are, okay? Because you're going to hear this in the coaching sessions. Okay, what do you think? If I'm defending this side, okay, this is the side I'm defending. What do you think this third is called? Guys, what is that third? Yes.
The defensive third.
Yeah, the defensive third. Robert, you're going to have to help me out call it because I don't, as I minimize, I can't see the names. Okay, that's excellent, right? Yep. Defensive third. Just think about it, okay? Take some time to think about it. Give about 5 seconds, right? Just think about it. What is this side called? This area, this third here, what is that third? Okay? So look at the third. What is that third? Awesome. If you said defensive third, okay, this third, all right, is my defensive third. This is my defensive area, okay? This is the area where we defend, okay? This is our defensive area. Let's go to our second third. The second third is going to be between the red and the red, all right?
Coach, some more are trying to get in.
What's this third? We've got our defensive third. So what would this third of the field be? Excellent. That's right. If you said this is the middle third, the midfield third, then you are correct, right? So this third is the midfield third. Yeah, it's in the middle of the field, okay? It's in the middle of the field, so it's your mid-third. What about this? If you got your defensive third, your midfield third, what can this third possibly be? All right, what's the last third?
The attacking third.
Good, yeah. So what we're going to do is once you, because Coach Robert's going to help us out here, so he'll call your name, yeah? So we can get different people answering. Yes, but it is correct, right? The attacking third. That's your offensive third or attacking third. Good, let me, It's either going to be your attacking third, okay? You're attacking this area, okay? Or it can be your offensive third, okay? Very important you understand the thirds of the field. Now, here's the other thing. What happens, my players, in these thirds, okay? In each third, there's a different mindset shift in each third. If I'm playing in the defensive third, I have to still play sharp, okay? So I'm still playing sharp in this area. I have to play sharp. Write this down, sharpness, okay? But now I have to make sure is that I am patient and I do not make mistakes, okay? So the least mistakes I'm making in here, all right? Less mistakes, all right? Very important, making less mistakes. I have to be patient, okay? And I have to play under control. I cannot panic, okay? I cannot panic. So I have to play under control. This area is the most crucial area because the least mistakes you're going to make in this area. So this means is that you don't dribble in this area. You don't get stuck with the ball. When in doubt, you clear the ball out, okay? all right? But this is when we're teaching the curriculum, you're going to learn how to play in that third. What about this next third? What about this midfield third? What about the pace of the game? Okay, the pace of the game is going to also be, it's going to be sharp, right? That's right, pace of the game is also going to be sharp. We have to be sharp in this area. We don't want to move the ball too slow. We don't want to be slow because this is the area, it's called the transition area, okay? This is where we start to transition. Okay, that's a transition area. This area transitions you now. If I've got players that's playing into this midfield area, you're transition now into the attack and you're transitioning the ball from defense. So your pace of the game still has to be sharp, okay? But guess what happens? You're going to find yourself being a little bit more creative in this area, okay? So you're starting to transition from being patient, less mistakes, okay, control, to start, you still want to be under control, okay? But what happened now is you're going to start to be a little bit more creative, okay? So write this down. My defensive area, I want to be sharp, less mistakes, patient, under control, okay? My midfield third, my midfield area, I still have to be sharp. This is where I'm starting to transition, okay? And in that transition, you're still going to be in control, but you're going to find you may make a little bit more mistakes, okay? Because this is an area that's heavy, all right? There's a lot of people in this area. And also you're going to start to be more creative. What does creative mean? But I'm actually to be creative in this area. What does that mean? Good, yeah, that's good, right? Creative means is that now I'm going to be taking all my skills, all that complexity, skills, the turns, the passing, right? And trying to find balls which allows me to execute, okay? So I'm being creative. I got to think out of the box, not being afraid to make mistakes in here, okay? Because one of your job is going to be is to help find the forwards and help to transition into this attacking area, okay? All right, if you make mistakes, it's okay because you got numbers. You're just going to limit your mistakes because when you're being creative, this means you're going to be taking some chances, okay? Now, let's look into this area. This is an area here that is very important. You cannot, all my players, once you get into this area, you're going to, yes, you got to be that much sharper. You know why? Because now the other team's trying to stop you from scoring, right? So you still, you know, you got to be sharp. Do you have to be creative? Oh, yes. You want to score goals, you got to be creative, right? Because it's part of your execution. You want to create, be creative. What else? You still have to play under control, right? If you can't go forward, you go back. You stay under control because we want to stay in that first moment of the game. And what's next? So we have sharp, creative, control. What about, are we going to make mistakes? Yes, we're going to make plenty of mistakes in this area. So you're going to have to understand this is the area where you're going to make plenty mistakes. I want you to understand that you're going to make a lot of mistakes in this area. So I want you to be very, very patient in here. Don't get down on yourself. I'm not talking about patient in your game. I'm talking about patient with yourself. You're going to make mistakes. If you miss a pass, if you miss a goal, it's okay. If you try to dribble a player one-on-one, that's okay. Be encouraging, all right? But you're going to make some mistakes. You're just going to have to get your mindset right because that is very, very important, okay? If you make a mistake, you get back. You go again. You go again. We're going to encourage that. So this area is the area in the offensive area. You're going to find yourself being creative even more, but you're going to make a lot more mistakes, okay? So, not going to stress you out with anything else, but I want you to understand that this is called the thirds of the field, okay? Write this down, draw it up, make sure, rewind the video, go back, put it in slow motion, right, so you can see. So you got the thirds of the field. We got defensive third, midfield third, attacking third. Defensive third was sharp, make less mistakes, be patient, under control. Midfield third, sharp, transition area,
control the ball, be creative. Attacking third, sharp, be creative. We're going to take chances as well. Take chances, control, and also understand you're going to make mistakes. Okay? That's it. That is it. My young people, my young players, okay, wish you all the best. Our next session, what we're going to do is balance the field. Okay, we're going to talk about balancing the field. All right? And after that, then we're going to do our next class to teach you on positioning and the moments of the game. So right now is what we're going to do. Our next session, we're going to focus on balance. All right? Thank you. Look forward to working with you the next time.
All right, so let's chat about that a little bit, right? When we're talking about this whole thirds of the field, Taya, what position you play?
I play strike. I play in goal and midfield.
You can go, right? So now, so you're dealing with the defensive part. So you know what you're going to have to do that's very important, Taya? You got to make sure that all your players are very cautious, right? You're like the parent, yeah? You're the one to make sure that, hey, guys, you communicate. Listen, don't go too far. Come back, slide up. So you become the director, okay? So you're directing the whole flow because you get to see the whole field, okay? So if you know that in that defensive third that they have to be cautious, we can't make a lot of mistakes on there, you can't be quiet. But you also cannot just shout out, right? You can't just shout, get the ball out. Oh, no. You give direction, okay? So instead of you saying kick it out, we're going to say clear. We want to have direction to what we're doing. So, for instance, if the ball is on the right side, the left side, and if you see that the right side is open, then what you have to do is that you have to now go ahead and do what? You have to communicate that with them to help them out, to help your players out, okay? Very important. Anybody else? Robert, you could pick another player from, because for some reason I can't see the names come up. Was it H? Do you see the names, Roberts, on the what's? Because mine don't come up. Rachel, could you grab one of the other players? Because I want to see what positions they play.
Sorry.
Corey? Who's Corey?
Sorry. Hey, Tori.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. What position you play?
midfield.
Midfield, okay. So in that midfield position, do you remember some of the things we were talking about that midfield third? What does, you're going to have to be creative. What does creative mean? When we're saying you got to be creative, anybody want to help out? What does creative mean? Being creative in that midfield area. Yes?
Rhea?
Well, like trying new things.
Excellent. That's it, right? You're trying new things. So in the midfield area is that you're going to have, because that's the area that's very tight, right? It's condensed. You got a lot of traffic in that area. So you're going to have to try to be creative. So all these little, skills you're learning, this is stuff that's going to come out because we call this either dribbling yourself out of pressure or playing yourself out of pressure, right? So you're going to have to continue to learn as a midfielder to keep kind of like learning these things so you're able to be creative enough to get you out of pressure, okay? Passing the ball through the lines, dribbling the ball through the lines. So I want you to look as a midfielder, when you're trying to be creative, think of like if you had a blank piece of paper, okay? Nothing's on this paper. But the way to be creative is that you don't look at like go on Google and search out on what to draw. No, I want you to be creative and make this paper, turn it into something, right? Turn it into an art. That's what midfielders are, right? Creating an art and the way they play, right? So there's something, so when you're going through your training and learning these skills, think of it. I'm learning this so I can become more creative, okay? So with that, every time we come on these sessions, you're gonna go through about 9 minutes of these videos, okay? They're gonna teach you. Our next session, we're gonna go 9-minute videos. We're going to catch up with a lot of stuff, but our last 35 minutes of our next session is going to be where you guys can get your ball up, okay? We're going to go through our ball mastery stuff, okay? This first one's going to be a little because I want to introduce everything to you. Okay? So, we're talking about culture. Who can tell me what culture means? Anybody know about culture? Like, what's a culture mean? And we're talking about culture. So let me help you out. A culture is what you see, hear, and feel. So players, it's so important, right? I have a professional culture with my Baltimore Blast players. It's what you see, what you hear, what you feel. We are trying to create a culture, and our culture is going to be involved in our leadership. We want to build a nice social environment, okay, that create norms and standards where our players, you guys can enjoy each other and enjoy the game. To do this, we all got to build some character in our leadership. So a part of these workshops, you're going to get some leadership tools. What we have done is that a part of the Power of One, we created, okay, a calendar of words, right? So watch. As we're trying to create this culture, everybody needs to be able to connect with each other, right? As you can see, this is before COVID, okay? This is when the team came up to Baltimore, and this is when we first started, okay? Everybody doing things together. So to create that, what we have done is actually develop this. This is our awesome Power of One calendar, and I teach this all around the US, okay, also in Bermuda. So we have a Power of One word. You guys are gonna have to now focus on this word, and we're gonna start the January. So our January word is gonna be sacrifice, okay? Now, it's beginning of the new year, okay? That's the monthly theme, all right? And I want you guys to, one you're gonna do is set goals. So you're gonna have to set goals. So for instance, once you set your goals for January, it could be a goal to kind of help out around the house. Doesn't have to be football only. You may only juggle to 5. You may set goals starting January that you're going to set goals where you want to continue training to get up to 20 juggles, right? You're going to set goals. But what we're going to do in January, when we come back to our session in January, well, we are going to have some sessions before then. That's when I got to see all your goals. If we have it before January starts, then awesome, okay? But you're going to set some goals, right? Set some goals, opportunities. So for instance, if one of my goals is for me to get all my players to be studying and completed the curriculum of the Baltimore Blast, that's a goal that I'm setting, and I have to make sure that they reach that, right? What are some sacrifices? And by that, you're going to make goals and what you're willing to do, okay? On the side of that, also, you got to take this word sacrifice. This word, you're going to have to create it into something awesome. And it's going to have to be put up in your room or somewhere. You can put whatever you want on, some glitter. But what you're going to do with it, you can make a nice little smaller poster. And you can put like, what are you going to look at to sacrifice? But I want the word to be awesome, okay? And I'm going to have to see that word, especially once we get into that January. All the players have to do it, okay? You guys understand? Brilliant. So that's part of your homework to get us ready, right? So every month, we're going to be working on this, okay? Our next word for next month is going to be believe, all right? And then what we're going to do is that come up with some ideas, okay? And when we build these words, ideas. So let's go over this. Let's go over some ideas on this Power of One word, sacrifice. Anybody got some ideas what they're looking to, they may look to sacrifice? With the last group, okay, some of the players were saying, oh yes, they want to sacrifice TV for exercise, which is awesome, right? They want to sacrifice less TV, more exercise. Any of you guys can think about right off the bat, if you may know, what's some things you think in January with the word sacrifice, our power word, that you feel that you want to kind of work on? Is any ideas you guys have? Anybody?
Simon, is your hand up? Okay.
Anybody want to take a crack? Like what's something? Okay, let's say for instance, a lot of you, I hope not, probably drink soda. You know, I'm gonna sacrifice, you know, a little bit of drinking less soda, right? Okay, because I want to focus on my eating habits. So think of those things. So those are some things I want you to really think about, because once you get comfortable in the sessions, we're gonna start to engage more. Okay. For instance, I'm looking to sacrifice. For me, I have to sacrifice a couple of things for me to be successful. So in January, I think I'm going to sacrifice, because you know what, I eat a lot, and I love eating healthy. But you know what, my weakness is salt and vinegar chips. I kill for them. Salt and vinegar chips, and the other one is gummy bears. I would die for some gummy bears. So I have to make that sacrifice to probably eating less of this, because I'll go through gummy bears like crazy. a big package. Oh, gone. Yeah? So I'm going to sacrifice that. That's my sacrifice that I'm going to be starting next year is less gummy bears. I won't eat nothing else. Put a gummy bear in front of me. That's it. Your hands are going, everything. So those are the sacrifices I'm, looking to make and have to make, right, for my nutrition. So as we move along, let's get to some fun stuff. How many of you know any players out there that's good players, women players? Anybody name some players? Name some players. Anybody want to name a player?
Can I name some players?
Yes, Taya. Any women players? I'm talking about some women professionals or even local good players. Taya.
Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe, Kelly O'Hara, Hope Solo.
You named some good players, Taya. Yeah. Okay. That's all right. You're trying to oh. Taya, get it?
Yeah,
You should try it.
Good, Leah.
Okay, good. That's a good one. Anybody else?
Julie Ertz.
Ah, good. So here's what I want you to do. We're going to play this video. What you're going to have to do is do a player search, okay? You're going to be searching out some players, okay? I'm not going to play this video, but I want you to get on Google and start searching players and try to find some players that possibly play in your position, okay? All right, let's check this video out.
Thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Let me tell you now, I'm super duper fly now. Let me know everything, see where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. If you quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my minutes. Now I got the ball, I can't be part of playing Quidditch. And my business is really see what thing that happens in it.
So, you're going to have to research some players. And we're going to share and have a discussion about these players. And what I'm going to do is put this together for you because we want to build a cool little profile, right? Because when those players are playing, and I know the national teams they are playing some games now. So I want you to really look at, search some players out because here's how it works. When we teach you these skills, we can teach you till you understand it. You got to be able to relate the skills, okay? The one way to relate the skills is that relating the skills by making sure that you're seeing somebody else, okay? You have to see somebody else doing these skills, and that's where you get it. For instance, I've got my son watching professional players now, and also he does to relate. He plays he's got Nintendo or Switch, so he plays the football games on it, so he's getting to relate it, okay? You guys, I want you to relate everything you're doing. So I want you to start watching, okay, players play, okay? So that's going to be part of some of the things I want you to do, some of that homework stuff, all right? So before you guys go, okay, let me stop sharing here. I want you guys to kind of set up and your homework because the next session, it's going to be more physical, right? We're going to do some work. What I want to do is get you guys, have you guys been on your Team Snap? Has any of you guys been on Team Snap? Let me see if I can get in. Have you guys been on your Team Snap stuff yet? No? Okay, so let me show you what you're going to need to do on your team snap. Let me share my screen again. Let me know if you could see it, because I want to get you guys on your team snap. So look at my screen. So check with your parents, because you're going to have homework. Next week, when we do another session, we're going to be doing our sessions all for team snap. So watch, when you get on team snap, tell your parents to go on their computer. When they go on their computer, what they're going to do is go to media, okay? When they go to media, they're going to go to files. So media and files. When you press on files, you're going to see players' files. These are your files, okay? All these files are yours. When you go down to here, click on it, you're going to see it says Player Development Homework Sheet. It's going to come up like this, and click it. Now, here's what it is. When you click on it, you're going to put your player's your name, okay? Check the month. So let's say you're going to start in December. You click off December, okay? Click December. Week 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're starting Monday, how much time you're going to spend in ball mastery 1, ball mastery 2, juggling, turns, one-on-one shooting, receiving, passing. Down here gives you your information. Player to train a minimum 3 times a week, okay, on the skills. So if you want your skills to get better, this is what you're going to have to develop. Now you may be sitting up there saying, okay, Bascome, where am I going to get this stuff from? Well, let's go back through Team Snap, go to Media, and let's go to Videos. All your homework information is here. Homework video folder. So for instance, if you guys was ready to train today, I want you to focus on 1, ball mastery 1, ball mastery 2. And if you want to focus on some other areas, that's awesome, right? So you can start today, ball mastery. And this is what, you go into video, ball mastery 1. You're going to spend 15 minutes on it. Here's your exercise. Okay? So continue scissors. You can do your sets, 3 sets, 2 sets. Your toe taps, your soul drag, okay? So now if you want to go back, you go back to media. Now you can blow this up pretty big, right? Go back to your media. Go back to your homework, and if you want to do some turns, okay, you want to focus on one-on-ones or turns. Let's go on your turns. All your videos support your homework, okay? So this is stuff that you guys can go on. If you want to start some video today, you can go ahead and go on it. Or start some training today, you can
Changes
start
of
today.
direction.
Okay?
Number 1, the outside cut. Don't overrun the ball, but reach and save ground.
So these are your turns.
Bend the knee slightly and cut with the ankle.
Today, if you want to go work on those outside cuts.
It's in
right?
basic cuts like these that the ankle flexibility and control developed in our ball mastery exercises becomes most useful and effective.
So when we do our classes, you're going to get 30 minutes of strong work of this, right? So next week when we start, okay, we start back again. We're going to go through some of the leadership stuff, but we're going to spend about 30 minutes, okay? A hard 30 minutes. We may have 2 groups going at the same time on this, okay? So we're going to look to, hopefully we can start it Tuesday or Thursday, okay? But if you want to start today, get your parents help you out, all right? But you have to do, the only way to get the videos is by going on your computer. The videos won't come up on your phone. The phone will just give you the documents, all right? So we gotta head out. Any questions? First of all, is that appreciate you guys' time. What we gotta do now is that once you guys come back and we do our sessions, get yourself ready. I know some of you was ready to train today, but we want to give a whole load and get everything started today, right? So our next session that we're gonna post it up, and we're gonna start with where you guys can have your ball. If it's cold outside, you're gonna put your ball. You find a little space. We're gonna do about 25 minutes of follow-up with some of your homework, then we're going to jump right into some ball mastery, okay? We're going to work, all right? Okay, so what we're going to do is that, let's finish off. Let's go through some 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go through 3 things you probably learned today. 3 things you felt you learned from our first intro session. 3 things. Name me 1 or 3 things you learned.
That you have to be creative in the mid-third.
Exactly. Got to be creative in the mid-third. Okay. Anything else?
Defensive third, you have to have sharpness.
Yes. Defensive third, having sharpness, right? And that's so crucial. What are 2 things that you feel that we need to develop, that you're going to need to develop in your game? Anything that you feel that you're going to need to develop in your game? Like when it comes to some of the things, right? Anything that you develop.
For you?
To be more creative.
Be more creative, right? And listen, and when you're being creative, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make tons of mistakes, right? But don't stress it. This is why we're doing the leadership stuff, right? All this leadership stuff is not just to help you for the game, but outside the game. All right, you guys? So next time,
Yonde's got one, Coach.
I'm sorry?
Yonde's got one.
Okay, go ahead.
My improvement is my skills.
Right, so if you guys are ready and this afternoon or even afterwards, go get your ball out. Start getting on those homework, right? Get on the homework process. Start processing it now, right? Start working on it now. Why not? Spend 15 minutes because when you come back and when we have the sessions, we're going to be getting good. We're going to jump right into it, okay? Also is that make sure your word sacrifice. January, think of some things that you want to commit to sacrificing. You're going to look to do, okay? And also think of some goals that you're going to make because before each session, we're going to start off with that, right? We're going to keep talking about that to keep building our leadership. All right, you guys? Well, it's a pleasure having you guys. We got the U17s popping in shortly, okay? I'm excited to see you. I'm in Bermuda, but I can't go nowhere. Yeah, like I got a band on and I'm stuck in my little place. So, all right, it's great to see you guys. You guys be safe, okay? And have an awesome, awesome holiday, okay?
Thank you.
You guys, see you later.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Take care.
Guys, take care.